It's true that the garrulity of our own Cardinal Vincent Nichols gives us some sort of window into the sacred and slightly surreal behind the scenes glimpse of the papal conclave and the personality of Pope Leo XIV. Um, and why the first American Pope may herald a new beginning for the Catholic Church. Cardinal Vincent Nichols, the Archbishop of Westminster, the leader of Catholics in England and Wales, took part in his very first and possibly only papal conclave at the age of 79, just scraping under the eligibility cutoff of 80. And of course, he's terribly excited to have done so. With characteristic candour and indiscretion, he's described the experience not as Machiavellian or melodramatic, but as refreshing, like a spiritual retreat. Where Robert Harris's novel Conclave and Ralph Fiennes' film adaptation offered intrigue, power plays, and whispered betrayals, Nichols paints a portrait of calm fraternity, no cliques, no skullduggery, and absolutely no lobbying. One can almost hear the disappointment from Hollywood. Nichols' only complaint that Father Raniero Cantalamessa's sermon overran, delaying the famous puff of black smoke by almost 2 hours, a theological traffic jam. So Pope Leo XIV, formerly Cardinal Robert Prevost, was elected in just 4 ballots, swift by conclave standards, and Nichols stood mere feet from him when he was asked the canonical question, "Do you accept?" And his response, Nichols said, was very matter-of-fact, calm, clear of mind, no tears, no papal fainting fit, just serenity. Prevost's new papal name evokes Leo I, who famously confronted Attila the Hun. "He won't be afraid of tyrants," Nichols quipped, before artfully dodging the implied reference to Donald Trump, the US president. The implication, however, hung in the air like incense, and probably intentionally. Naughty man, really, Cardinal Nichols. He took an oath, and although it's interesting, it's questionable how much he should have said. Leo XIV is a curious hybrid. Chicago-born, Peruvian naturalized, Roman-housed, and his appeal cut across factions in the College of Cardinals. He emerged not because he represented an ideological camp, but because he was palatable to many, South Americans, Europeans, and moderates from the US. Even Cardinal Parolin, initially the front runner, reportedly stepped aside in Prevost's honour. This broad consensus or convergence of compromise suggests a pontificate of cautious balance, not revolutionary, not reactionary, but perhaps restorative. Pope Leo's first acts as pontiff are already being scrutinised for semiotic signals. The embroidered mozzetta, the gold cross, the gold pectoral cross, these hinted a step back towards tradition, but I noticed when he was walking into the Sistine Chapel yesterday, he was still wearing black shoes, not the red shoes of Benedict. This is an innovation of Benedict's. Let's be clear. Pope John Paul II wore rather scuffed brown shoes, and the inaugural homily was not scripted but spontaneous. His choice of the papal apartment, still undecided, will matter. Will he echo Francis's humility and remain in the Casa Santa Marta, or will he ascend to the more opulent, though fairly cramped, apostolic palace? It's not all uncontroversial. Prevost's past comments on LGBTQ plus issues made under Benedict the 16th have resurfaced. And he once lamented the homosexual lifestyle and the media's sympathetic portrayal of alternative families. LGBTQ plus Catholic groups have expressed cautious concern, hoping that, like Pope Francis before him, Leo XIV has evolved. The hope, as one advocate put it, is that the Church will move from "who am I to judge" to "who am I if not a friend of LGBTQ plus people." So here we are. The Church as a new leader has a new leader, and calm, collegial, chosen with rare speed. British garrulity and Peruvian gravitas met beneath the frescoed vaults of the Sistine Chapel, and as Pope Leo XIV prepares his inaugural Mass, his enthronement, on May the 18th. Well, it isn't really his enthronement. It really is just an inaugural Mass. The enthronement will be in St. John Lateran, and there is no papal coronation. The world watches not for the theatre, but for the theology, well, for the theatre as well, for the temperament, and for the threads of continuity, or for change.